Have you ever really looked at dance? I remember the first time I was truly drawn to it. Walking around at school, I saw these guys in the corner just blasting a boombox. And I remember this one guy, just absorbed by the music. He wasn't even minding anybody else. It's like he wasn't even thinking, just moving the way the music made him feel. I remember thinking, I want to do that. That's when I really looked at dance. Why do we do it? What is it? What is dance? There's no questioning that dance is just as fun to watch as it is to perform. Dance can be contagious. In order to get started on my question, I went back to square one, where my obsession with dance began. Maybe these guys knew. Do they even think about dance the way I do?
What is dance? Oh, that's a hard question.
It's like it's
I have no idea. It's just every time there's a song on, like, it's just like a natural thing to groove to that music.
yeah, dance is like moving the way that your body can with the music. It's a way of relieving a lot of stress. You know, if you had a long day of work or whatever.
I think to have fun, to get them ladies, you know what I'm saying?
So I mean, it's just a way to be creative and to get all your emotions out into something. Some people write, some people draw, I dance.
I guess some of them knew, and others hadn't really thought about it before. The answers just left me wanting more, feeding my curiosity. Sure that all dancers can have some sort of understanding, but I needed someone who examined it off the dance floor, someone who studied it. That's when I met Anne Flynn. Maybe I can stump her with my question.
What is dance? Oh, dance is, movement that's generally done in a rhythmic fashion. There are theories that human beings are hardwired or neurologically programmed to respond to rhythm, that this is simply very basic. And an example that I always use is when we see toddlers when music comes on and they immediately just start moving in rhythm to the music, that is one of the indications that human beings simply have this in our central nervous system to be able to just respond to rhythm. Dancing serves the function of building group solidarity or togetherness. And I do think that we crave, as human beings, we crave socializing. Some people are always going to be the ones that stay out on the dance floor longer than others, but there's just a really good feeling about being able to relate to someone without talking to them by just moving to the same rhythm.
She's right. A great example is physics. He's a guy who definitely knows a lot about dance but can't really talk about it in English. Even as I kept interviewing him, he made a request to answer differently.
I think Chinese is more easier for me.
Easier for you? Okay, sure.
Okay.
Physics doesn't really communicate orally with his group. He talks to them physically, through dance.
当我在跳舞的时候，我觉得可以感觉到自由，就是很享受那种平静的感觉。因为有时候你工作会有很多压力，但当你跳的时候，我可以完全就是沉浸在自己喜爱的事情上面，我可以很专注。刚开始跳的时候，就是因为也是无聊，但是跳久了之后就变兴趣，你是觉得很想去跳，因为很喜欢，所以就自从即使我已经大学毕业，但还在工作，我一样继续跳，因为我很喜欢跳。
When When you look at guys in dance, that drive towards perfect skill is a huge factor. We want to show off. A big part of dance for guys is getting the girl. But is it the same the other way around? How does a girl's relationship to dance differ from a guy's? I had to find out.
Here we go. Hey.
This is Julianna. Her love for dance is so strong she made her life around it. She teaches for her own company and is also a professional performer.
My relationship is, that was the question, my relationship with dance. Strange, because it's not really human. But I think my relationship with dance is that it's something that I identify myself as because it's become a part of me. It's something I've been doing ever since I was young and till now, and it's ever changing and it's constantly growing. I think I never stopped with dance because it's a constant, it's constantly evolving. Because you can create your own choreography, there's so many styles. It's really just amazing what you could do with your body, and you could create your own movements. I think it's just the rhythm of our heart, truthfully. It's like the pound of our heart. So when you hear that bass, it's like, it's just in you. It's already your heart. Everything in your body already has a rhythm. You blink, it's a rhythm. So I think it's just a natural thing that when you hear music, it's already inside of you, so it's a reaction to that.
We definitely encourage certain movement behaviors in girls that are different than the movement behaviors we encourage in boys. We have a lot of nonverbal ways of training people in their gender identities, and dance is one of them.
When you look at the bottom line, is there really that much of a difference between us? Dance is something that manifests our physical being. When you're truly in the movement of dance, you don't put intense thought into it.
That I think when I'm dancing, I'm so at peace and just in me, it's almost meditative. I don't really think about anything else that's going on. It's like a meditation. I'm not thinking, there's no stress. My body takes over and I'm just in the moment of movement.
Karen is a fellow performer with Julianna. She tells me about her thoughts.
Being able to move with the music and tell a story with your body. So, you know, sometimes there's words in the music and you might be portraying the words with movement, or perhaps it's, you know, a classical piece, and so you're creating the story with your movement. So when I dance, I feel the release. I definitely feel like there's no other way to fully express the energy of life. You know, you can tell a story and you can move people. There's many ways of expressing emotion and portraying emotion, but it's with the energy, it adds an element, you know, in dance. I think that being a performer is one of my favorite things about dancing. So people who were in the movies when it used to be very musical and they got to really perform and again add that extra element of expression.
So, why do we dance? It brings us together. It makes us smile. It's a shortcut to happiness. Dance is expressive. It's sensual. It gives us identity, part of our way of life.
It's a form of movement expression that, as far as we know, has been around as long as human beings have been around. All cultures throughout the world have their forms of dance, as diverse as they are, and I guess it's rhythmic movement is the most simple way I would define dancing.
We teach dance. We study and examine it. Most importantly, we share it. We dance.